Gosh.
Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, guys.
And Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta.
Sorry, my dog was starting to bark right when this was coming in, and I thought I was still silenced for the moment.
Right at the right time there. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. I'd like to take it to past the last second there.
What? I'm right here.
We should have been on a little bit ago. So anyway.
No, come on. What are you talking about?
He'd be breaking form if he did that. So that's not.
Don't encourage him, Tim. Don't encourage him.
I am one of three, I think, showing up early.
Sorry. You didn't show up early. You were the one who showed up late.
No, but I think last week I was early, and then the week before, both me and Tim were very late.
All right. Well, this is a big week, I think, for the show. This Saturday is 1 year to the date that we released the first episode. So I guess you can say, we've hit the 1 year mark in this whole thing, which I'm pretty proud of. I think it's very cool. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Drink to State of Atlanta. Yeah. So that's cool. That's fun. I'll send out a tweet about it on Saturday and whatever. But I guess we can get on with this show. Episode 53 now. So for anybody that's watching, just let you know, if you want to be part of Last Call at the end of the night, just drop us a line in the comment section and we will send you a link. You can or message any one of us and let you know. And we can talk a little bit later after the show. But for this week, it's week 0 of college football coming up. And despite the NCAA granting those waivers for any team to play week 0, there's not a single FBS game on this weekend. But we do have one FCS matchup. So college football does start this week.
Whoa. Wait, who's playing?
I don't even know what it is, but I'm watching it.
Exactly. It works out perfectly. It's Austin P, letsgop.com. Versus Central Arkansas, played on a neutral location in Montgomery. I don't know if this is some standard, FCS college kickoff thing or whatever, but it's there. So that's happening, but it worked out well because Braves play at 1:00, and then this game is I want to say it's at 9:00 or maybe it's 8:00. I think maybe 8:00 Central Time, so 9:00 our time. So I can get to watch both the Braves and a little college football this weekend on the same day.
A late start for a Central game,
I made the time. Well, I wrote the time down as 9 p.m. Eastern, so it would be 8:00 Central Time where they are.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Tim, you said you're watching, Ryan. You gonna watch some FCS ball?
We'll see. What day is that?
Saturday. Same day it was. I said a minute ago.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't sure if it was a Thursday or not, and I wasn't listening. So.
Well, it's kind of interesting to say Thursday because Central Arkansas does actually play the following Thursday at UAB.
They got the short week.
The short week, but they're
Are you just going to follow Central Arkansas through the whole season now?
I think I may become a Central Arkansas fan just because. I mean, these guys they're like, you know what? No one else is going to play football this season. We're going to play the very first 2 games in all of college football.
That's right.
But do we have a line on this game? Do we even know who's favored? I don't even what's going on here.
The fans are favored because they get to see at least a little bit of college football.
True. I wonder if they know that there's going to be a ton of extra eyes on their game. Or that's impacting their prep, and are they going to be nervous because they know that fans from all over the country will be watching this game?
This has got to be the highest viewed FCS game week 1, outside of the national championship game with their playoffs. This has got to be the highest viewed regular season kickoff to FCS, right? Wouldn't you think?
I would hope so, considering how starved for college football we all are, right?
Yeah, but I agree. But I think the thing that sucks though for these teams is, this TV contracts have been signed, so the schools aren't getting any more money for this game, and ESPN will probably rake in some serious ad revenue for this FCS game. So the winner here is ESPN.
I wonder if they're going to put some extra emphasis into this, broadcast,
I haven't seen any advertising for it at all yet, or any promos for it, but I don't watch a lot of ESPN when my teams aren't playing. So maybe if they are advertising it, I don't.
If they're not, they're missing out, right?
Honestly, I don't even know if it's on ESPN. I just assume everything's on ESPN. I didn't look to see what channel it may be on at all. But
wait, how are we watching this again? We don't even know.
There's ways. I'll figure it out.
Road trip.
Sports channels. But one thing I thought was interesting is they're in Central Arkansas, wherever that is. I don't know if that's Little Rock or somewhere else. But so they're playing in that game in Montgomery, and then they play Birmingham 5 days later. So I kind of put it down my notes, joke around that, maybe they should just stay in Alabama versus going back and coming back. And literally, I sat down here waiting for you guys to log in, and I saw a tweet saying they are driving straight to Birmingham from Montgomery, and they'll just stay there for that week. I guess all schools are doing classes online, so it's the perfect time to not worry about the extra travel, right?
ESPN. They're on ESPN.
ESPN
Network.
Major. ESPN Prime.
It's the only game going, so that's what they do.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be watching. Be good. But
it's gonna be a busy Saturday. You got Braves, United, and Central Arkansas, or the P.
And letsgop.com.
Like last year, did you ever think that that sentence would ever come out of your mouth?
No, not at all. I have to look down again. Like, who's playing? Okay, Austin P and Central.
Well, if you told me I'd be excited about watching an FCS game, I'm like, well, it's not going to be Georgia State's FCS game because those scare the hell out of me. What FCS game am I excited about watching now? Yeah, especially in week 0. But
we need to reach out to Scott Stoiberg and have him rate the two helmets and which one's better.
Absolutely, he didn't do anything FCS.
Oh my god.
So moving on to Georgia State, we talked about this last week, but it looks like they're holding steady with just 10 games. We're not going to replace the Murray State or the Alabama game. Obviously, there's still time for something, but it seems like all the other schools have kind of wrapping up their out-of-conference games, and we don't seem to do so. And we're the fewest games in conference. Troy and Arkansas State managed to get 12 full games, or I should say 4 out-of-conference games. We only got the 2 left over, and everybody else managed to get 3. So we are playing the least amount of teams in our conference.
Yeah, all signs point to we're not doing a damn thing.
That's what
which is fine. You could also claim that we're being the safest school in the Sun Belt.
Why put our kids and our players into any more danger? That was my question. Was like, why do you think? What reason could you come up with? So yeah, it's just being safety first, right?
That's silver lining right there. Silver lining. We're keeping our players safer.
The coaches might have already seen this as a potential trap year with the new quarterback and all that stuff, and might just be taking it as a year, all right, this is a practice year.
It's another building year, right?
I should have done this as a bingo question or a Family Feud style question because you guys are hitting the points I made. Yeah,
nice.
For extra practicing to give Lafayette less to see. I mean, we have easily one of the best 2, maybe 3 teams in Sunbelt coming in here first. They don't know a lot about Quad or whoever, maybe the starting quarterback. So give them less tape to look at, no injuries to worry about, so to speak. See how the landscape looks. Get an extra week to look at Lafayette because they play in week 2. What else you got? What other reason? Or do you have any pessimistic reasons? Like we're just too scared to lose a game? I had that one on there.
Nah, money. I don't know. We just don't want to pay a team to come here.
That was it. I got didn't want to pay someone to come here or pay to travel somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be there's a lot going on, so maybe they were just well, let's just not do that this year. Let's just not have the hassle of trying to figure that out on top of everything else.
Do you think that if Georgia State had the history of another program, App State or a program that has a history of winning consistently, that we would have been so lackadaisical about replacing those 2 games? Because App State went out there and they were trying to schedule anyone they could, including some of the big boys, and keep Wake Forest on the schedule. And I don't know if they ended up keeping that or not, but I know they got Charlotte. But do you think that we would have been more aggressive about trying to do so? Because there were games to be had. We talked about it last week. There were games to be had. There's still games being scheduled.
Tech.
I mean, I would say that, if we had a stellar team coming into the season and we needed games, I don't think we'd just schedule a matchup to beat someone, but if it was a matchup that would help our case or, improve our ranking or something like that, yeah, we'd do it all day long. But
say Kennesaw State or Mercer. What about those people?
I don't know if that moves the needle for potential end of season consideration on anything.
But we're supposed to be sports fans, and they're supposed to be athletes. They want to play the game. Coaches want to be in there, and they want to compete. They want to get in there. You think that everything we know about athletes is they want to always compete, the competitive nature of it. So I don't know.
I think they should have tried to figure it out. I'm sort of pissed off that I think that they didn't.
Fan perspective, absolutely.
Didn't do it.
Yeah,
What?
Fan perspective, absolutely. Like, come on, give us games.
Yeah. Do we get
games?
Do we get our refund for the Murray State cancellation?
They'll roll that to the next time we play them.
There you go.
But I mean, has there been any news about that? Like, are we getting rescheduled?
Yeah, something came out last week saying that I think from someone from Murray State said that they were looking at rescheduling the game in the future. Oh, we got a little word here from our friend Alexis with the athletics. Still working on it, so something may happen.
All right, so it's not dead. I love it. Make it happen. I don't know where or when, but make it happen.
Breaking news right here, right now. Georgia State still trying to fill those two. Well, at least one of those two slots. I like it. Thank you.
Now, on the fly, David, do all the research. What teams are available?
I mean, I did that last week, and it changed. I tried to do it first thing in the morning before I started work, and then by the time I got to lunch, so many games have been scheduled and changed that it wasn't happening. But
fair enough.
Yeah. We had a little bit of bad news this week from out of the program. Our true freshman Twitter fan favorite, Michele Calisandro, is going to have to sit the season after complications from his bout with COVID. So that was it's always a bummer to hear. But the real, I guess, story about it is how much media attention this thing got. What have you ever seen outside of the upset or the shot? Have you seen like these many articles written about Georgia State all within 1 week of each other?
I don't think the shot did it, but maybe Tennessee. But I have a Georgia State football Google alert that sends me stuff whenever there's Georgia State and football are mentioned in an article anywhere. And I got one of them a couple days ago that was just like 10 to 15 stories, and it was all about him.
Yeah. Well, the thing that kind of frustrated me, though, was I think it was a little overblown. Like, obviously, in this environment we're in right now, a player testing positive for something for a lasting, or even if it's just a few months lasting condition is interesting. But if this happened at a bigger program, yeah, you run. It was Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, you run with it. But the fact that it was, we love our program, but nobody else knows about it. It was our program, and it was a true.
Not even a starter.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They made it. I had multiple friends and family reach out to me directly. Sorry to hear about your quarterback, and I'm like, it's a little overblown. I like Michele a lot, but let's be honest, he probably was not the starter. Most likely.
Not this season.
With Quad, with his experience, Muhammad with, his just talent and size, Michele was probably not going to play, at least not start that first game, not start that Murray State game at the time, or whoever it may be. So it made it sound like we basically lost our quarterback for the season when that was not really, yeah.
So the complications, though, as Tanya mentioned, is the myocarditis. I don't know if I'm saying that right because I've only read it. But apparently that is sort of the crux of the of the athletic department saying should we play or shouldn't we play is things like is like exactly that. And so that might be why there's been so much press around it.
Yeah, and Tanya knows a lot more about all this kind of stuff than I do, so I don't want to pretend that I know what I'm talking about here. But it's our show, and I can say what I want to. And
isn't that what we do every day?
People can decide to listen to me or not. But there was actually another article came out today, an AJC article. Yes, the AJC actually wrote about Georgia State. Again. All it took was a pandemic and a player getting a lasting condition. But Michele himself says that it's something that should be over. The doctors say that he should be good in 3 to 6 months. So, all right, that's great. Yeah, you missed the season. That's awesome. But I mean, it's not like this guy's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life because of it, or on a ventilator the rest of his life, or something like that. So And I just want to go ahead and toss up on the screen that Max agrees with me. True that. I'm right. So you're gonna blind. Maybe she was saying true that I just say stuff and don't care whether it's true or not. Maybe that's what
I think that might be what she's commenting on.
But yeah, so it was cool seeing all the stuff. I mean, you guys got anything else you want to say about McKelly and everything?
I mean, bad press is still good press, right? That's what they say. Hopefully he recovers and he's ready to go next year.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this before we got on. What is that cliche saying? It's like no press is bad, or all press is good press.
Any press is good press. I don't know.
Like that.
Brian, you know what it is?
No such thing as bad press.
No such thing as bad press. That's what it is. So yeah, so people still know that we have a football program that we didn't shut down after beating Tennessee. So that's good. That's good. I guess they know we're out there.
Tanya, yes, your show. You can say shit. Perfect.
And maybe this throws Lafayette for a loop because obviously not a lot of smart guys there. They live in Louisiana and they chose to go to Lafayette as a college. So maybe they think we have no quarterback. Maybe they think we're going to line up there with one less guy on the field and just like hike the ball and hope someone recovers a fumble.
I mean, that's what Southern does. So it might work.
True.
Let's not get into that whatsoever at all. Yeah. So, all right. But yeah, best of recovery to McKelly, and hopefully he can get out there and watch the games. Does he get to do that still? I mean, you still get to be on the sidelines watching games?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
Just shouldn't be practicing or playing.
He should be tweeting. He's not been tweeting as much.
We need some live tweets during the game coming straight from McKelly. I like it. That's a good idea. So,
yeah.
Some surprisingly enough, Georgia State released some big news or bigger news today. Bigger news for being 3.5 weeks out from this the season starting.
Before sad news.
What's that?
But it's sad news.
Well, it's news and something we can talk about, and that's why we do it. The football attendance safety guidelines came out today, and Mike, our enemy number one, Mike Holmes, said he was throwing us a bone by putting this out here today versus tomorrow. So
nice.
Yeah,
we shifted the news week for them.
Exactly. We have that much control of the situation.
We are influencers.
So yeah, there was a lot of news to digest from that. Obviously, the biggest one I think for all three of us is they say no tailgating.
Oh well, they can't stop me from tailgating. They said no tailgating in their lots.
So, yeah. Right. No, they called it on the plaza. I'm like, in the plaza. I'm like, no, come on, call it on the bricks, guys. Come on, you wanted a name for this. We have a name for it. On the bricks. Say no tailgating on the bricks. Yeah. Put your little quotes over it so you know that you're talking about something specific. That you can't just tailgate on any brick. All bricks are off the table, no matter where they are. No bricks you can ever tailgate on. They also say any lots managed by Georgia State, which they had just gone into a big diatribe about the blue and green lots. So I'm guessing those are the lots saying that you can't tailgate in. But they also said the lots open up 3 hours before games. So, so I get it. You want to get there early, maybe watch the guys work out on the field or something. But who's going to go to a football game 3 hours before unless, that's your kid out there on the field?
You could just, instead of tailgating, you could just sit in your car and eat, Chick-fil-A or whatever.
Or we just show up there 3 hours early and we go get super loaded sloshed on their $8 big beer inside the University Club.
No, that sounds really dumb. There's all kinds of new places open that we could go get sloshed for cheaper. Or, for a limited crowd, I have a fridge and I have beer in it.
Did you hear that, everybody? You're all invited over to Ryan's house. You want to put your address up? You put it in the comments.
All five of you watching right now. Well, -1 because I'm watching.
So long as you like PBR, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you're providing the alcohol and food as well?
Wow.
I'll provide some PBR, yes. But the good news, it's kind of cool because I've got like the grill already, the household grill and like an oven and toaster oven and stove and all that stuff. So
these things you can all have if you have a college degree from Georgia State. You can get a job and afford all of these small appliances. I thought he wasn't laughing, but I think his video just froze on me.
Yeah, I think the video froze.
Yeah, I was frozen.
Yeah. So another thing was it was a big kicker to me was no single game tickets issued, which I don't think is a big surprise, but kind of makes it more difficult if you want to bring somebody or you don't necessarily know who all can come to the game. But maybe this season is just the diehard fans only. They said it's basically season ticket holders, some students, and a small allotment to the away teams. Should I say screw the away teams? Why are we doing an away team allotment? Just let in more students or let in more fans.
We've got enough. It's kind of weird. Like, I wonder what the single ticket sales was generally. Like, if single game sales, like if that was actually like a lot of tickets.
Yeah. Well, also one of my questions was you could get your kids 12 and under in for free. Just walk up there and say, I need an extra ticket. Can I still do that as well? Can I still get an extra ticket that way?
I mean, I'm going to try.
That's a great question.
Bring my kid.
And I'll be like, look, if you tell me no, then my 4-year-old just is going to be running around without parents for a while, and that's going to be on you.
Exactly. If my kid gets hit by a car out there on Georgia Avenue, that's on you, Georgia State. That is not on me whatsoever at all. There'll be some other things I can't do. There's not going to be the team march, the Panther Walk. I couldn't even remember the name of it. The Panther Walk. No pregame show from the band. No like halftime show from the band.
Looks like we got Alexis commenting, no walk-up sales, call ahead of time, even kids.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Again, man, we're just breaking news left and right. There we go. Breaking news. There's our episode title for the night.
Exactly.
Finally.
Well, the band thing at first, I was kind of taken aback. I'm like, marching bands are pretty much the definition of socially distanced. They all stand about 6 feet apart from each other, do their own thing. But then I realized they're spitting into a horn.
Well, have you seen the pictures of band practice at high schools right now where they've got like the cloth coverings over the outside of it and they've got slits through their masks?
Oh, God. That's going to be so miserable.
It's pretty silly looking.
Yeah.
As if they didn't get made fun of enough. I mean, and I don't think they should get made fun of, but they do get made fun of, and this doesn't help.
You know, I think that the marching band is, if you're a diehard college football fan, the marching band is the loophole to go to games. You get to go to away games for free, stay in hotels and everything. You get to ride the bus. You get to see everything and don't pay anything for it and get to be part of the show and everything. If you're a diehard fan, you should be part of marching band. So I was not in band. I was told I was tone deaf. I'm not. I don't do music good. So
I played cello in the orchestra.
Well, aren't you hotty toddy?
Well, I mean, you couldn't get out on a field and do that.
Yeah. Well,
that would be pretty difficult.
I don't know. I think that maybe that should be your thing. Just have like your little cello. Is that one of those standing things? One of those standing instruments?
It's like a bass, but smaller.
Yeah, so you get a skateboard with a little like a latch on it. You're supposed to kick off and put yourself around and just cello. Is it like that? You do a cello?
So it is. I was sad that I got assigned it, but it is one of the nicer instruments I think now. So,
well, I came across a cello YouTube page where she does like the Knight Rider theme from the '80s and Mario Brothers stuff all together. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I mean, yeah,
it was pretty cool.
All right. Well, Max was first clarinet. I was like last seat trombone when I was tone deaf and the beginner band. And yeah. So, what else? What else do you guys get from the safety guidelines you want to talk about?
I mean, the key is the no tailgating. So, I mean, I think that there's going to be people that want to tailgate anyway, and they'll go and go to Phoenix 2 Park, which is right up the street. They'll go find some lot that's not Georgia State, probably. I would hope.
So do you think we should talk to the city or just do it anyways, and who cares about it, and just block off Georgia Avenue right in front of all the bars and restaurants right there, and just we will say that it's open container allowed in that area, and it's like let everybody walk around with drink.
They did that for the Atlanta United block party.
They did.
Really, there's only 5 games now, right? 5 home games. So let's just do it. 5 days out of the year. Let's close it off. I'm down.
Open container, big party.
But yeah, let's do it. Talk to Carl.
Distance party.
We should just do that for fun, like in general. That just sounds like a good time out there on Georgia Ave. But I guess you said, yeah, United did it for their block party. It's our neighborhood, it's our campus. We should be doing that kind of stuff.
I hope, I do hope they do it. Next year, hopefully when things return back to normal, that we do have Georgia Ave blocked off, and it's a big party.
Do you think that could become like, the restaurants that are there now aren't really just like your drinking, get drunk kind of bar type thing. They're kind of nicer and food focused. But could that stretch of Georgia Avenue become like a Beale Street in Memphis, or your little what's that crap street called in New Orleans, Bourbon, whatever, and become a little college scene where that's what they do every Friday and Saturday night. They close off that stretch of it and becomes a little hangout party scene. That could be kind of cool.
I don't think so. I think if anything, it'll be like what Edgewood tried to be for a little bit and didn't really become. I mean, it is definitely popping in its own way now, but I think it has a chance of coming up the way that Edgewood should have.
And you're talking about on Edgewood Avenue, not in the Edgewood neighborhood. There's a big difference there.
Yeah, Edgewood Avenue. Yeah, right over there by campus with like Church Bar and like over by the MLK Center.
Right. Yeah. There's some cool bars over there. I think I'm too old to have gone like late nighting drinking over there, but I've been to several of those places. The beer garden's pretty cool. The Joystick Game Bar is really cool. Churches is awesome. I went there like at 10:30 a.m. on a Saturday. It was dead.
Church is great. But we're getting that VR bar too. So hopefully it's like Joystick, but actually fun. And then
is it a VR bar or is it just a game bar?
It's a game bar, but they've got VR. They're gonna do like fancy stuff. Yeah. Oh, cool. And then there's the other one called like Redacted or whatever. It was called Conspiracy, but they didn't want to be too weird, so they went with Redacted. But it looks cool.
They should call it Tin Hats.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a speakeasy, right? The Redacted.
Yeah. The door is there. They've got everything set up. There's not ever going to be a sign, apparently. It's just going to like this one script door.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I think they have an opportunity on Georgia Ave, just like I think I commented 50 episodes ago about Wisconsin and how they do like the parking lots leading up to the stadium, the restaurants. They do like tents and stuff like that, outdoor beer sales. It's like a beer garden outside in the parking lots, and everyone just comes, drinks, eats some of the food. I think some of the food they have in some of the restaurants isn't what they normally sell, but they have they sell game day food. They have a game day menu, and I don't know. It was a lot of fun, even though it was super damn early.
Well, I think that's what Georgia State tried to do that first season when they closed off Georgia Ave in front of the stadium, and they had the food trucks, and they wanted to have that kind of atmosphere, but the turnout just wasn't enough to support everyone coming out. So we got to get the fan base out to make this kind of happen.
They already do have on the weekends. There's pop-ups. So Halfway Crooks has like guest pop-ups come in and serve food. They use their kitchen and they're there for like a week. And then there's also like this biscuit place. I forget what it's called, like Bomb Biscuits or something like that. But you have to pre-order and you can pick them up on Saturday. But it's just a pop-up literally on Saturday. It's a tent outside of the hot dog place.
Whatever it is, it sells out because someone told me about it outside of this podcast, and I looked at it and I was like, everything was sold out. I'm like, okay, you can't get these biscuits apparently.
Yeah. Get here early.
Apparently, super early, right when they go live for sale. Yeah. I think Ryan, you're gonna be a little disappointed, although you already have one of them. But no giveaways, so no mask giveaway. But you somehow commandeered a mask.
Oh, I did. I have one.
I'm surprised you're actually not wearing it when you came on the show.
I was too. I thought you were going to wear it.
I was rushing around for beer. Remember I was running late?
They said no giveaways. They said giveaways will be virtual. I'm like, so does that mean I get like a sticker for my Facebook profile, or what's a virtual? It's not a real giveaway. It's just it lives in the cyber world universe.
It's the State of the Panthers email.
That you don't read at all.
Thanks, guys.
So you'll get the email, and then you'll get the email a second time, in hopes that you'll read it.
I guess so. Yeah. There was some news from some of our opponents. They suspended their football operations for a few days. They always say indefinitely because like if a COVID test positive. I think I saw App State Monroe and East Carolina all had to suspend. And the thing about this that driving me crazy is people would just like act like the sky is falling. Like, this is it. The ball's over. These teams, I'm like, no, this is just going to happen. Like, we should expect this to happen every few days, right? Another team that's going to shut down for a few days. We're still 3.5 weeks out from playing.
I just hope we stay healthy enough to play all of our games. That's all.
Yeah, well, it's kind of be like the last team standing. You know, like whichever team can go the longest without testing positive, maybe the team that ends up winning the whole thing.
I mean, pretty much. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We're already out of the running for that, aren't we?
I was about to say we're already 2 games behind at this point, so we need to make sure we get all of our games in.
Yeah,
and go on. That'd be great. Yeah.
When is our? We have one. Well, obviously we have multiple bye weeks right now since our games are canceled. But when's our other one?
Well, I mean, if you consider the fact that a bye week happens between games, we have one. It's I want to say it's October 10th. I forget who it's before and who it's after, but so it's kind of in the middle of the road. That's why I didn't think we would ever try to schedule a game for that week versus those first 2 slots, because you want to have at least one break in there somewhere. And hell, we may have more breaks if these other schools have to take a hiatus or something. Maybe there is a forfeit, or would it be a forfeit? Do you think they would do a forfeit, or just be like the game cancels?
I think it's gonna be canceled. I don't think it's gonna be a forfeit.
It should be a forfeit unless we're the ones that get sick, and then it should be a cancel.
I like that logic. It doesn't make sense, but it works for me.
It makes absolute sense if you're a fan of the team that I'm talking about. So that sucks, but this is going to happen.
Yeah,
there's going to be until we figure everything out. It's just going to happen that teams are going to call it quits for a couple of days to make sure that everybody's safe and stuff. It's not that big of a deal, right? Right?
I mean, it's a big deal when you miss a full game, right?
Well, once the season gets started, but I'm talking about, like, we're 3 or 4 weeks out. It's not.
Oh yeah, right now, no. Nah.
So
there's plenty of time. At a certain point in time, it will matter, right? You get too close to that first matchup.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting a little knock at the door here. Hey, kiddo, go find mommy, okay? Okay, she may be downstairs. I'll message her, okay? And that's your heartwarming moment of the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Go away, kid. Daddy's drinking and talking to his friends about football and sports. Yeah, Justin says, Justin, friend of the show, been on the show. All forfeits, no cancellations equals we beat Bama, and I've been saying that for ever since they canceled that game. Yeah, until that check clears, they pay that $1.3 million. Bama has forfeit to us. And if you actually look at Georgia State's, I know you don't do this, Ryan, but if you go to Georgia State's website and look at the schedule, it says Murray State canceled, and it shows the Bama game is still on. So I think that they're applying my strategy of saying, nope, we're showing up in Tuscaloosa on September 12th, and you either play us or you forfeit.
We can hope. I think we need to do it. And we know that Alexis is watching, so she should go tell the team that that's what they need to do. They need to all get on the bus that Saturday morning, get out there.
Exactly.
Make a big to-do. Put it on TikTok.
TikTok.
I wonder.
Okay.
That'll make it official, right?
I kind of wonder if there's any update there. They're just in active discussions with Alabama about, hey, you want to pay us something? Anything?
No, we're not asking them. We would say you owe us money.
Is it worth the $1.3 million just for them to say yes, we forfeit to you?
What? No, we take the money. I don't care about the forfeit. They owe us money.
I want to have a loss in the record books. I want to have a Georgia State win over Alabama, and I don't care how we get it.
No, I think no matter what, they forfeit. They already forfeit. Now it costs them money to forfeit because we were supposed to play a game.
Okay, now you're really on how I really feel about it. The game goes down as a forfeit. That's the way it should be.
And we get $1.3 million.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, they backed out of a contract. They forfeit.
They did. I don't care if their conference kind of pushed in that direction. Maybe that's why the SEC didn't do the +1, is they didn't want Bama to lose to Georgia State.
That's probably right. Tennessee was like, only Alabama can lose to us.
Yeah, exactly. That what it was. So there's some teams that have announced they're not allowing fans in the stands whatsoever at all. Like Charlotte said for that home opener against us, they're not going to allow fans in the stands. And I'm like, haha, trick on you. We're used to playing in front of nobody, so this is like nothing for us. Although I think we play better in front of like massive fans. Maybe that's their strategy, because they know that. I keep looking at Ryan, and he's frozen all the time. I don't know if he's just like pondering my really
Oh wow, he was frozen there.
Brilliant message, or if he is frozen. But Duke has said they're not doing fans whatsoever at all, but they're going the baseball route of cardboard cutouts. They'll be selling cutouts.
I saw that you could have like a picture of your dog, yourself, right?
Right. Yeah.
$50 or something like that. I think.
I didn't see how much they were charging for them. That's what the Braves were charging for theirs. Should we not do that anyways? I think we should sell cardboard cutouts in addition, and we could put our own out there. I was thinking that we take pictures of all the different. I don't know if you can do this illegally, but take pictures of all the Braves players, all the good Braves players that played while they played in Turner Field, and get some pictures of the athletes from the Olympics that played, and sparse them out throughout the whole thing. Like, these are the athlete ghosts that are watching over the stadium, and then Ludacris and Julia Roberts and any other notable alumni.
I think that would be a cool idea. I don't know.
Have it interspersed with fans. That'd be kind of cool.
It would be expensive.
Can I get since my wife and kids aren't coming, can I get cardboard cutouts of my wife and kids to be like sitting right next to me? So
you put your arm around your wife.
Yeah, exactly. I give her the kiss whenever we get a touchdown or a field goal or something. High five my kid. I could get a picture of the cardboard cutout of my kid is already their hand already up for a high five. So I can lean over and just tap her hand and be like, "There we go, kid. We did it."
I mean, it'll enhance your experience, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. It shows, instead of having people sparsed out throughout the entire thing, you could have some other stuff out there. I think something they should look into do.
Do you think Charlotte's doing this just to be trendy with some of the other sporting event teams not having fans in the stands in September, or is there a reason behind it? Like, they just announced this one game, right?
Well, and it's a September game, right? It's like the last week in September or something.
Yeah.
Well, like the Falcons and United are both saying they're not doing any fans throughout the month of September. So yeah, maybe that's what Charlotte's following along that lines. So,
I don't know. I was considering going, obviously, before COVID.
That's any game in Charlotte I consider going to because of how close it is, and Charlotte's a cool town.
It is. It's less than 4-hour drive. I'm all in there.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's so close at first, but once you get on the car ride, you're like an hour and a half in. You're like, "Are we there yet?" Not even halfway there. Like, damn it! Why did I make this decision? This is a horrible idea. I could be drinking on the couch right now.
And I'm going to.
I like Charlotte. I don't want to live there, but Charlotte's a fun town.
All right.
They have cool bars. They have those little rickshaws, like the dudes in the bicycles with the little caboose in the back, and you get to take it.
Rickshaws.
Yeah, those things are cool. I remember getting to one of those during a Falcons game. Like, I left the game because I was so pissed off. I got in the back one of those. I'm like, take me to a bar that won't have this game on. And he took me to a bar that had the game on. But we won, so it worked out well. I was a bad fan that day.
You're talking about like pedicabs, right?
Pedicabs? Yeah.
I don't know. I know them as pedicabs, I think. Rickshaws? I've never heard of that.
You heard that?
That's what Laurie said. You guys couldn't hear her. That's all.
That's fine. That's fine.
She's heard pedicab?
Yeah.
So there's no chance, Alexis, that we're not going to do. I'm talking to Alexis now.
Are you interviewing her right now? And in
there's no chance of us not allowing fans.
We're interviewing Alexis via Facebook.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
No. So I saw something come out this week that I thought was kind of interesting. The Sun Belt announced that the date of the conference championship could possibly move based off of Coastal Carolina. Apparently, Coastal scheduled a December 5th game, like out of conference game against Liberty, and so the Sun Belt came out and said, "Well, if Coastal's in the conference championship, we'll push back the conference championship game 1 week or whenever."
For Liberty?
No, for Coastal.
for Coastal.
But so Coastal can play Liberty.
No. Just in case they're like competing for the East champion.
Yeah, if they're the winner of the East, and they can go ahead and we're not worried about having to play that weekend. They're playing Liberty. They'll move the entire conference championship back a week. And so, it sounds stupid. I agree, and it's because obviously both Coastal and the Sun Belt are like, there's no way Coastal's playing in the Sun Belt championships this season. It's not happening.
But just write the release anyway.
Because if Appalachian State, well, you had to do the release because obviously the question gets asked. Like if App State would have been like, "Hey, Sun Belt, we're going to schedule a game against Liberty on the 5th, so we need to move that back if we make it." Like, no, we're not moving it. You are probably in it. You're most likely in it. I mean, unless you can't beat Georgia State, which is also very possible, then you're going to be in the championship. So there's no way they're going to do it. It was just, I don't know, it was stupid.
You have to do it to be nice. Let's be honest.
But it's not interesting. That shows you how hard Coastal is trying to find an extra game to play. Is they're like, we'll play the week of the conference championship. We want to play an extra game. That's why they're at 11 games for the season, or at 10 games for the season.
And we all know that Liberty pays, right?
Yeah, they have the Bucks. But something else I thought about this that doesn't make sense. But the whole thing is, if Coastal's in it, if Coastal actually somehow does win the East, they're gonna be so pissed off that they're like, "Oh, great." The other Louisiana or Arkansas State or whoever it may be, they have an extra week to recover and prepare while we have to go and play another team. It makes no sense. It's literally just Coastal saying, we know we're not playing for the championship, but we just give it up.
Right. I mean, I was looking back at Athlon Sports because I was like, weren't they projected to be last in the East?
Yeah.
And they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one that projected something, right?
Who are they right behind?
Some team from Georgia.
The most underrated team in the East.
We're a dark horse, right? Dark horse for the East.
That's right.
Fighting Panthers from downtown ATL.
That's right. That's why I love you guys.
Maybe there's an episode title, Fighting Panthers from Downtown ATL.
Oh, boy.
I need you guys to write this down because I'll forget about it by the time we're done with this whole thing.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just...
Speaking of, you're always reliable on the episode title thing. All right, thank you very much. Speaking of rankings and ratings, that was actually my next subject, so move right along into it.
Nice, Tim. Nice.
I took yesterday off work. I just took the day off to chill, not do anything, no kids, just hang out and everything. And so I actually spent some time putting together some stuff that I wanted to talk about today. And that's because the AP put out their top 25. Their top 25 included all the Big Ten teams and Pac-12 teams. Well, Pac-12 team, I forget, in their top 25. But everyone was like, hey, this makes no sense. Like, there's 3 conferences that are not even playing, 4 conferences, whatever it was. They're not playing. 4 conferences not playing. None of those teams should be in the AP top 25. So Brett McMurphy put out his top 25, and he excluded all the teams that are not playing and included, and then, bumped up everything so I spent a lot of time digging through what could possibly happen in the weeks. Cause I think there's no AP top 25 team playing in week 1. Cause there's only like 5 games, but then Memphis, who's ranked at something, is playing in week 2. So my thought was, if Memphis wins that first game, which is against Arkansas State, conference mate here, then Memphis should be put in first place. They're 1-0, and all those other teams are 0-0, right?
It's never worked that way. There's always a team. I mean, we played on a Thursday, and the team that beat us, I don't know if we beat them or what happened, but they weren't number 1.
No, but there was all the Saturday games afterwards, and the rankings came out on Sunday or Monday.
Oh, fair.
So
fair enough.
Full extra week, and then you figure Alabama and Georgia, LSU. None of those teams are playing until week 4.
Right.
Clemson.
It's not going to happen.
I wonder if that top 25 could be a G5 smorgasbord of teams up there.
It's not going to happen.
Nah,
I mean, I get it. I get your logic, and I think it makes more sense than what's going to happen.
Right.
But it's not going to stop it from happening.
Right.
Well, so then the AP did come out and say that they did their preseason rankings, including all teams, but after the very first week of games being played, which I don't know if they count this FCS week of week 0, that they will pull out all of their Big Ten, Pac-12, Mountain West, MAC teams. They'll pull those out of the rankings. So it will be just SEC, ACC, Big 12, and then American Conference USA. And there's more teams playing. There's more conferences playing than I thought there was. There's a lot of conferences playing.
I mean, I think it makes sense that they had the preseason or pre-week 1 poll have all the conferences that aren't playing. Gives them all the conferences a chance to actually reverse their decision, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Say, look at this. This team was going to be ranked number 5 or number 3 or whatever it is, and now they're not. I don't think any team that's not playing was going to rank that high. I don't even remember what the highest ranked team that that'd have been the thing to look up. That makes a lot of sense. Why didn't I do that? But today, the USA Today puts out their poll, and they just said, screw it. We're not doing a USA Today top 25. There's 76 teams. We've got the time. Nothing else is going on. We've already talked about Michele Calasandro. We're going to do all 76 teams. We're going to rank teams 1 through 76.
Did we get bonus points for that? Because we're in the news and the media?
Exactly. Well, it bumped us all the way up to 63 out of 76 teams.
All right. That is halfway. We are 50% if all teams were there, right? No, I guess it was 130 teams now, right?
As long as you don't rank all 130 teams, but you count us against 130, then yes, that is some drunk logic that I love. That's fantastic. But there was one thing that was very, very interesting that came out of this USA Today ranking of all 76 teams. Georgia State comes in at 63, and 5 notches below us, Georgia Tech.
Ouch.
And now we know why Georgia Tech.
GSU.
Now we know why Georgia Tech would not play us with their +1. They were scared, and they decided to play the number 13 team, UCF, or number 5 team. Actually, number 13 is actually App State.
UCF. I have it up right now. Where'd they put them at? 9.
Yeah, they're pretty up there. Yeah.
I thought when Tech scheduled UCF, I'm like, all right. I mean, you got a way to open the season with a highly potential loss.
Oh my God, UCF wins that game, right? UCF.
What are they ranked? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, 9th. UCF's ranked 9th in this USA Today poll. So UCF beats Tech in Atlanta.
Yeah,
that happened.
I think so. I mean,
we should have scheduled a doubleheader with UCF. Yeah, have them play Tech and then come over to Atlanta and come over downtown and play us as well.
Come over 2 miles away.
Exactly. That may be our best shot at beating UCF right now. If they play one game, they're
tired
the second time. So they get a twofer in one day. They can skyrocket in the polls. And
we'll pay you enough for the hotel room. We don't have to pay for all the travel and stuff because Tech is paying for that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't need a hotel room. They just come over and then just back on their buses or their charter.
Oh, same Saturday.
Same day.
Yeah, doubleheader.
This is a drunk podcast.
It is a drunk podcast.
Very much so.
And because I'm petty, I want to acknowledge that in USA Today's poll, they acknowledged our conference mates in West Louisiana as Louisiana Lafayette, not Louisiana. They actually put the Lafayette in there, so they hate that. They hate that. Those Lafayette fans, they hate being called Lafayette. I don't blame them.
Wouldn't you hate being called Louisiana even more?
I mean, anything in that state, I'd hate to be associated to anything in that state. I'm like you, Ryan. Other than the food, there's absolutely no redeeming quality about that state whatsoever.
And we get the food here. You don't have to go there for it.
It's great. I think I made it. I don't know if I made a reference to this, but my neighborhood next door to me, Kirkwood, they had a little kids virtual Top Chef thing. I drove around in my car and I got food from kids and I ate it. And this kid made red beans and rice. Fantastic. Great red beans and rice. Anybody can make red beans and rice. It's not difficult. An 11-year-old can do it and it's delicious. Then why do I need an entire garbage state to make it? It's horrible.
Yep. 2020, I can get Cajun food wherever I want, and Atlanta has lots of different food.
Exactly. One other thing I thought was kind of interesting about the USA Today poll was ECU came in ranked 70, so 7 spots behind us, and they're favored to win that game. Last I saw, so,
not anymore.
No, they need to know that. Maybe that's their bulletin board material. Like, oh man, they put us 7 spots behind Georgia State. We got to go in there and give them the what for.
Is that how people talk at ECU? Like, what are you like 80? Give them the what for?
I'm close. I'm closer to 80 than I am to 0. So,
well, I'm not sure USA Today put a whole lot of effort into this. I'll take the fact that they put us ahead of Tech.
I like that a lot.
They did enough research to know that's true.
Right. Well, in both polls, both USA Today's and Brent Murphy's updated top 25, Lafayette is ranked, and they have 1 game ahead of us, and I forget who it is. But assuming they win that game, we'll have our second ever ranked opponent coming inside and coming to Atlanta to play us. Our first was App State last year, and that did not go well. So we do have a chance to get our first win over a ranked opponent at home. Well, be our first win over a ranked opponent ever, right?
Yes.
We've never beaten
a
ranked team.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. I mean, unless you rank all of the teams, we've never beaten a ranked team before.
Not a top 25 team. How about that?
Not a top 25 team, that's for sure. So, I put this question down, but it seems stupid now. Basically, there's going to be a lot of changes to the before the season even starts, or after that, before the Power 5 conferences start playing, you're going to see that top 25 change because teams that have not played a game are going to drop out. Like I think Virginia is ranked number 25 or something. They don't play a game until week 3. They'll fall out immediately because UAB will win a game and they'll be ahead of them or something.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle all that. I don't know if that's right. I think they'll still pretend that Virginia is playing and against UAB, they beat UAB. They're going to leave them there. I think you're going to be. You might be disappointed with what the AP does.
The AP already literally put in teams that they know aren't going to play.
They said they're going to take them out. They said they're going to take them out.
But they put them in.
Right.
And he said it's because it was preseason, and they're going to do a separate spring poll.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, I got one last question before we close it all out. I think it's kind of a big question. It's something Tim and I were texting back and forth throughout the week and talking about these rankings. Like, there's no Conference USA teams ranked in this top 25 list, and there's AAC teams, there's Sun Belt teams, everything. So when Georgia State moved up, we obviously moved into the Sun Belt. Rumor has it that Cheryl Levick had an offer from Conference USA on the table, but she had beef with the commissioner of the Conference USA. That's rumor, that's speculation, what have you. But had we moved to Conference USA, who is now a crappy conference, over the Sun Belt, do you think that the transition to FBS would have been easier? That we maybe would have more wins than we have now? Even more successful team in the FBS ranks? Tim, what do you think?
I think absolutely we'd be a better team if we're in Conference USA. We'd have more wins. You might not have the low of our low seasons as we've had. Obviously, the top half of the Sun Belt, I think, is stronger than Conference USA's top half. And I think you would have seen us sneaking into the middle of the conference year in, year out, easily.
Well, there's some assumptions to be made there because had we moved into Conference USA, because Conference USA went and then it raided the Sun Belt. They took MTSU, Western Kentucky, the Florida schools. So one of those gets left behind in the Sun Belt. That team wouldn't be there. And I would assume it's probably one of the Florida schools because why would you take 2 schools so close to each other, but I don't know what I'm talking about there. What do you think?
They're pretty close. You're right.
What do you think, Ryan? You think that it would have been Georgia State would be more successful today had they moved to Conference USA at first?
I have no idea. I think those teams are still considered better than ours, regardless of how they actually are. So,
well, I don't disagree that they're considered better than ours, but what I'm saying is we've been playing. If you look at the conferences, we've been playing a higher caliber of team this entire time.
Yeah.
And if we had a lower caliber, we have teams like, I think it was Arkansas State. We beat for the first time in all of our matches this past year. We've never beaten App State. I think we may have gotten one over Lafayette. We've had a hard go of it. I mean, the Southern thing's even, but that's a rivalry, and that would have been probably no different either way. But yeah, I mean, we would have probably been playing lesser competition. So maybe we had a chance to get some more wins.
And recruiting better, probably.
Yeah, because the perception was always that Conference USA was a better conference. Maybe we were able to get some better players because it wasn't perceived to be less.
Right. I think the perception still is that way. It's going to take a couple of years of really strong seasons from the Sun Belt, from the top teams, getting ranked in the AP top 25 like App State and Louisiana to somehow finally turn that perception, right? It's there.
Because
whether we like it or not, it's still the perception.
Because that's what we keep on talking about is, Georgia State just needs to get consistent at winning. And once they get consistent at winning, that's when the opportunities open up for a potential move of conferences. Maybe we would be a step or two ahead if we'd gone to Conference USA directly. Maybe when UConn left AAC, when the teams were being discussed about who could possibly take that spot, Georgia State got a little bit more consideration because instead of having, averaging 3 wins a season, we'd be averaging 4 or 5.
5. I don't know. I just think we would have had more wins in Conference USA than we do in the Sun Belt. I'm not saying it would have had an impact on potentially an AAC move, but I just think we would have competed a little bit better than we're competing now. But I'm fine with where we're at. We're in the better conference. So
we're in the better conference, and
thank you, Cheryl Levick.
Yeah, right.
That sounds weird to say, but thank you.
And we're in the more competitive division for sure. It's definitely harder in the East, I think, than in the West. West, you've got 2 teams to worry about. So East, you've got 3 or 4, and if you include yourself.
Wait, we're competing against ourselves? Crap.
No, if you're talking about the quality teams, yeah.
Yeah. No, you got App, sort of Southern, and Troy in there, pretty strong.
Right.
The West is more or less. It was more or less just Arkansas State, and then obviously recently with Louisiana added on top.
Lafayette.
I don't like saying Louisiana. I just don't.
Lafayette.
It's La or Lafayette. I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh la la. So, well, that was my big question for the night. I think we've kind of hit it all. What do you guys think?
Sweet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and close it out and head to last call. Thanks to everyone who came in and watched and commented and interacted with us. That was awesome. You can do that. We do this every week on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, but that's on Periscope. I don't know how that whole thing works. Check it out. You can be part of the show, ask questions. We'll interact, obviously. But yeah, so thanks everybody who's here for us. Thanks to Ryan and Tim for being part of it. Thanks to everybody who's listening to the podcast, audio only or watching later on. We're going to do last call. Available free to everybody on Friday. Available to everyone who's a Patreon member for a little bit of bucks immediately. So thanks.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Go Panthers.